Well, the race is on to find Britain's next prime minister, and it appears that Boris Johnson is ready to make an epic comeback attempt. One of his close political allies told our sister network Sky News today that Johnson says he's, quote, up for it, and that he's going to do it. He added the former prime minister will soon return to the UK from the Caribbean. He's been on holiday there. Johnson does appear to be gaining some momentum. He's already getting support from several senior MPs.
I would lean towards Boris Johnson. I think he will still have some questions to answer around, obviously, that investigation. But I know when I was Secretary of State for Defence, he invested in defence. He supported me. He supported the actions this country has taken to keep us safe. So that's, at the moment, I'm leaning towards that.
Well, Boris Johnson, one of the three frontrunners now to replace Liz Truss after her humiliating fall from grace. House of Commons leader Penny Mordaunt is the first to officially announce her bid. Ex-Chancellor Rishi Sunak also expected to run for the job. Now, the ruling Conservative Party trying to move very quickly. The goal is to have a new leader in place in a week. David Smith joins us now, D.C. bureau chief for The Guardian. David, does Boris Johnson really have a shot at returning to number 10?
I would not rule anything out, given the current turmoil in British politics. And certainly he's picking up some support. Reportedly, more than 40 MPs are supporting him, and 6 cabinet ministers. Now, that's not as many as Rishi Sunak, the former chancellor, who reportedly has the support of more than 90 MPs already. And the target is 100 to qualify. But Johnson has shown himself an effective campaigner in past elections, and if he makes it through, then it may well be the case he could perhaps lose among MPs, but still actually win the vote among grassroots Conservative members. So he should certainly not be ruled out at this stage.
He is nothing if not a colorful character. What case would he make for his return, and what are the principal obstacles against it?
I think his strongest case that he and his supporters would make would be to point to 2019 and the general election, when the Conservatives won with a huge majority over Labour. The next election is hoving into view in a couple of years, and I think the argument would be, you might not like the way that I governed, but I'm a great campaigner and I can win elections. And the Tories, in their current disarray that some would say has made a laughing stock of the party and of Britain, are looking for a lifeline, and they might think Johnson can throw it. The downside, however, is it's just a few months ago that Johnson was drummed out in disgrace, and the investigation into him throwing parties at Downing Street, breaking the national rules that applied to everyone else during the pandemic, is still ongoing. So if he did become prime minister, he could yet face disciplinary action, even be bailed as an MP, and that would obviously be a tremendous own goal.
Does the White House have a horse in this race one way or the other? Do they care?
I think so. I remember writing stories and doing interviews about Boris Johnson's departure earlier this year, and the general mood was that the White House are glad to see the back of him. Remember, Joe Biden once described Boris Johnson as the twin, as the clone of Donald Trump, and certainly some of Johnson's policies around Brexit echoed Trump. They were seen as partners in a way. So a return of Johnson could mean just yet more chaos, more disarray. Not really the reliable partner the US is seeking, facing the challenges of potential global recession and what's happening in Ukraine. You did hear generally people saying there was a sigh of relief and no tears being shed when Johnson left. So I think there would probably be some groans at the White House if Boris Johnson made a quick return.
All right, David, thank you very much. David Smith, D.C. bureau chief for The Guardian.